Initially, I wanted to do mentoring because I was thinking of changing jobs, and I wanted to gain some kind of experience. So that was the reason behind me wanting to do the mentoring.
I just thought it'd be good to have something to do with someone else, as I wasn't doing anything during the day. I was just sitting at home by myself, so I thought it'd be good to get me out of the house.
You know, we've been really lucky in our family. We've all, you know, we've had a really nice sort of upbringing and everything. And you know, when you look around and you hear stories and you realise that some people just aren't as fortunate as you know, and there's a lot of young people who's, you know, through no fault of their own, you know, have just been born into families that are sort of chaotic or mad or whatever, and they just can't sort of cope. And, you know, it'd be nice to just be able to sort of help people like that, you know, because I've been so lucky myself.
I think just having someone with you that you know, like you get to meet them beforehand and you get to know them, so that if you're nervous in the class, which I was, to start off with, I had someone there that I knew and someone to help you through it.
I was gaining confidence and realising that you know, I didn't have a fear of doing something that I saw as a challenge. So I gained, I think, just as much from the whole experience as the young person that was mentoring.
We went to German classes, which I'd been wanting to do for years. And I wanted to do the classes because I wanted to go back to college. But I was a bit scared of being in a classroom environment after high school. So I wanted to get used to being around people that I didn't know.
We did a whole lot of talking, and we just did, we did some confidence building, and we did some shopping, and kind of putting me into situations I didn't feel comfortable in, but not to the point where I really didn't like it, but to the point where I could handle it and try and get over whatever was stopping me from doing it. And I have to say that it really did help at the time.
When you're actually dealing with somebody and you're trying to build up their self-confidence, and when you're saying that you're really worthwhile and you're as good as anybody else, then it starts to make, that rubs off on yourself as well, and you start, well, yeah, so am I, you know, I'm as good as them, I can do, and a lot of the things that you're sort of saying to the young person or anything just reaffirms your own and builds up your own confidence. And I have to say, I mean, had I not joined Move On, there's no way I would have been doing this.
I think the whole kind of putting me into places where I didn't really feel confident enough to go on my own, and to have someone with me, but not there to kind of babysit me in that sense, but to make sure that kind of like my extra shadow, that someone, you know, to say that it's okay. And I think that really helped me the most. And it was probably the most enjoyable too, because it was something that I knew was going to help me. And at the time I knew that if I did face it, I was going to be fine. And it gave me a whole lot of satisfaction finishing it.
I couldn't recommend it highly enough, you know. I mean, it really is very, very worthwhile. And I suspect even if you're not chosen or you have to wait a long time, just the fact that you've had the opportunity to do the training is really worthwhile. To revisit things that happened in your teenage years, to make you sort of think about how you felt and the sort of things that you thought, which are no different really mostly from the way the teenagers are now. And even if you didn't get chosen as a mentor, you know, you could appreciate some of the things, and you might see kids behaving in a certain way and think, oh yeah, I remember doing that, or I remember thinking that way, you know.
It's just good to have someone there to support you that doesn't know, like your friends or your family. So if you're having a problem or you're nervous, you can tell them, and you know it won't get back to anyone that you know.
I would say go for it, you know, because it is a wonderful experience for you as a mentor as well.